Lord, I'm standing here and I don't know what to do. The enemy is saying, give up 'cause I'm through. So I'll just lift up my hand.
Welcome back to week number 2 of Winning My Race and the 28-Day Health Revolution. We're back to our winning principles. We're going over winning principle number 2, and this is one that I discovered when I was working with Team USA and had an opportunity to go visit them and work with them at the Olympic Training Center in Colorado Springs. Up on the wall, there was a quote that said, "It's better to be 1-20 than 0-0. This is a phenomenal quote about getting off the bench. This is a quote about fear. Fear is one of the most severe forms of oppression you can face. Fear stops what God is doing dead in its tracks. Fear never married the man or woman of its dream. Fear never wrote a poem. Fear never started a successful business. Fear never did anything heroic, and it never won a championship. You know, fear of failure, fear of how hard it is, fear of how hard it is if you get started, fear that you'll end up losing again and again and again, all keep you out of the game. Plus, there are the side effects of fear. These are things like laziness or procrastination. They're the excuses and waiting until all of your questions are answered before getting started. The thing about fear is it's really a self-fulfilling prophecy. Winning 101 is as simple as this. You can't win if you don't get off the bench. God tells us dozens and dozens of times in the Bible, do not fear. Be strong and courageous. Or in other words, have the courage to get in the game. Winning principle number 3 is another great one. It's a personal favorite of mine because I was a high school, college wrestler. I wrestled after college. So my favorite coach, my favorite athlete was Dan Gable, who said, gold medals aren't really made of gold. They're made of sweat, determination, and a hard-to-find alloy called guts. So winning principle number 3 is get axe fight tough. You know, when I was in college, my coach would make this comment when I would be wrestling this guy named Johnny. Johnny was a super tough guy. Once he grabbed your leg, you could not let go. He was like, you know, Jacob wrestling the angel. And so he was just this really gritty, tough guy, and our coach would say, I want Johnny on my side in an axe fight, because Johnny was so axe fight tough. I mean, if you think about an axe fight, that's just painful. You got to be tough to be in an axe fight, and that's what winning principle number 3 is all about. I like what Dr. James Davis said. He's the co-founder of the Billion Soul Network. He said, without a test, there can be no testimony. We have to toughen up if we're going to win. We have to be comfortable being uncomfortable, so that we don't just occasionally step outside our comfort zone, but we live outside our comfort zone. This comfort zone is an area we would like to call the faith zone. It's either comfort and safety or risk and reward. Risk and reward, we need faith for it. So like Paul says, there was a door of effective ministry that had opened to him, but there were many who opposed him. There will always be opposition to doing God's work. However, axe fight tough people, they don't avoid confrontation, they don't avoid the challenges. Instead, they are holding on to God for all they're worth through the pain, the discomfort, until they become transformed and their destiny is revealed to them. Next winning principle number 4, is that life takes no excuses, only results. You know, another quick story from wrestling back in college. We were there over one Christmas break. We didn't get to go home like everybody else. We had to stay in practice. In fact, we would stay in practice twice a day. Because I went to college in upstate New York, we got up one morning and there was 2 feet of snow on the ground and we couldn't get to our car. It took us a long time to dig out and get to practice. And when we got to wrestling practice, we were late. And we figured, hey, we got a great excuse because there was all this snow on the ground. Well, as soon as we got there, the coach simply said, start running stairs. Well, we ran stairs for what seemed like hours, and finally, in frustration, I said, Coach, I can't believe you're doing this to us. There was 2 feet of snow on the ground. He said, then you should have left earlier. You know, I hated him for that. I hated him for years until one day I woke up and finally realized that we can't let the circumstances of life stop us. You know, we can make excuses. I mean, certainly some of us have genetic issues. Some of us are in very difficult circumstances. Maybe we've got a tough boss, got a large family. Maybe an economy has hurt us somehow. Maybe we've suffered some sort of pain or illness or injury. There's a lot of things that we can say are stopping us, but life doesn't accept these excuses, just the result. And so we got to remember, once again, we can do all things through Christ in you. I can do all things through Christ in me who strengthens me. That the problems in front of you are never as great as the power that is behind you. We've got to do what it takes to overcome our circumstances in life. When God made the world, he had a choice. After those 6 days, he could have said, hey, world control man, or man control the world. And he chose man to do it. He gave you the power to overcome your circumstances and be a winner. It's a critical winning mindset. Because we have to remember that you are valuable. You're important to God, you're important to people, and you're important to history. So stay focused on what it takes to get the time, the energy, and the discipline to not only run the race, not only complete the race, but to win your race.